Welcome back to No Sticks, No Bricks. Today is our first travel day since having our leveling jacks problem from the last couple videos, and we're about to find out if we got it fixed. So let's go over to the control panel and we're gonna see if this thing works right after this. All right, switching gears here. Let's go check out what BluTech sent us. If you remember, I think it was last video, I talked about my fault. I left my gauge hooked up when it got below freezing, and I'm pretty sure it froze and jacked up my gauge. Let's see. So right now it's reading like 110 PSI. So let's shut that off real quick. Come over here. There's our BluTech water softener and filtration system. And then we're going to relieve the pressure off the system again and see if that gauge moves, which it does not. It did move actually, but now it still reads 60 PSI, which obviously there's nothing. So we're gonna swap this out, see if it fixes it. I'm not sure if it's the regulator itself or if it's the gauge. I'm about 99% sure it is the gauge. So let's swap this thing out. BluTech was nice enough to send me a new gauge and a new pressure regulator because I wasn't sure which one it was. So they're so awesome. Their customer service is amazing, and I really do love their products. I mean, they are well built. So let's take this off. Stick the new one on. All right, so it's got the new filter in it already, so that's good. Let me put this on. As you can see, the gauge is reading 0, which is good. That's how it's supposed to be. So you notice on the old one, it's got this little filter in here, this little screen filter, so you just want to make sure you do clean that every now and again. If you start losing water pressure, that could be the problem. It could be clogged up. Hook this bad up. Turn the water back on. Hey, that's better. Uh-oh. Guess I need to tighten this up a little bit more. It's leaking, so let me do that. All right, all hooked up. You can see it's reading 30 PSI, so let's make sure we can adjust this pressure, because 30 PSI is not very much. So we're gonna tighten this screw up and make sure that regulator is working. All right, so we're gonna crank it up, and there it goes, it's moving. Up to 40, there we go, that's better. 50, I usually don't go over 70. Try to keep it around 60 to 70. Looks like the water pressure here is gonna max out at about 58 or so. So I'm gonna back this off a little bit and get it back to where I know it's maxed. That way, next time when I go to an RV park, if the water pressure is higher, I don't have that thing cranked up. So the thing is, when you back it up off like this, you're gonna have to relieve pressure off the system and get that gauge to move. Here we go again. And as you can see, it dropped back down to 40, so I know that the max pressure here is about just shy of 60, so I'm going to just get it up to there and then leave it. So I'm good for the next RV park. Ask me how I know about that. Because I did that one time. Cranked up the pressure thinking that gauge was jacked up or something. This was 2 or 3 years ago. And then when I got to the next RV park, I went to go hook up the gauge, and their pressure was like 90 PSI, and that thing shot up, so I had to back it off. So that's why I do it that way. So now I need to determine whether it's just the gauge or maybe it's the regulator as well. So I'm gonna remove this gauge. I have another gauge that I'm gonna put on this. I wanna see if this thing still works. That way I can use this as a spare. All right, I got my wrench here. It's a 14mm wrench to get this gauge off, and I cannot find my Teflon tape anywhere. I just got done looking all over for it. That is the best thing to put on here for reinstalling the gauge, but I don't have any, so I'm just gonna use a blue thread locker. I know it's not the right application for this situation, however, it's better than nothing, so that's what I'm gonna stick on here. So let's get this old gauge off. All right. As you can see, it's still reading like 50 PSI. All right, so let's get this new gauge off that I have, and maybe I can save the Teflon tape that's on it. Let's see. Oh my gosh, look at that. Holy Teflon tape, Batman. Guess I'm not saving that. I do have a little bit left on here, so maybe I can use this, but I think they might have used a little bit too much Teflon. There we go. I'll at least get some of it on there. better than putting the thread locker on there in case I ever want to remove it. So we'll just go with that. See if that works. I know it's kind of messy and it's like partly covered, but again, that's better than nothing. So let's stick this on here and we'll hope it doesn't leak. If not, I'm just gonna have to go get some Teflon tape and redo it. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna do it like this and see what happens, I guess. Okay, all right. So there we go. Now let's go test it and see if it works. All right, so there's my old one with the new gauge on it. All right, let's see if she works. Turn the water back on. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so that's reading about 52 PSI. So let's see if we can adjust this. All right, we're gonna back it off and then relieve the pressure. Oh, looks like it worked. Okay, as you can see, it's just barely above 20 PSI, so it looks like the regulator is still good. So it was just the gauge. So now we're gonna crank it back up to about, what, 58 PSI is what we said before. So there's 55, so right about there. So that's good news. Now I have a spare regulator with a pressure gauge in case my dumbass leaves this out in the cold. But I'm not going to. At least I hope I don't. Since I'm out here, I wanted to show you guys something new that we just got. We did a video a couple years ago on the Hyper Axe bike rack, and you know, after a couple years of having that thing, it just really, honestly, it just started falling apart. It was like super heavy. It was very convenient for the e-bike because it had the built-in ramps and stuff like that, but man, I tell you what, I'm in my mid-50s now, and every time I needed to take that off the Jeep or the truck when we had it, I just dreaded it because it's so heavy and cumbersome. Check out this much lighter, much easier to use bike rack that we just ordered from Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description of this video. It's made by Iron Deer, but check this out. Look how small this is. So this is the stow position right now, without the bikes, obviously. But as you notice, I can't get in, my tailgate won't come down unless you use this cool little feature right here. And this will do this with the bikes on too. And it just tilts forward. And now I got plenty of clearance for the whole tailgate to come down. And like I said, it'll do it with the bikes on. Obviously, you just want to make sure you ease it down with the bikes on because it's a lot of weight, but it will hold it. It's designed to hold it with the two e-bikes on there. It's designed to hold 200 pounds. Our e-bikes are about 70 pounds each. But anyway, you put it back in its normal position. Make sure all these straps are undone. I just had them together to keep this from folding down because that's the way it works, is these two fold down like this. And then there's a ramp that goes with it. Let me grab that. So the ramp doesn't actually mount to the bike rack, which would be kind of nice for stowing, but instead I got it in the back of the Jeep, which now I can't get the tailgate open like I showed you, so we're gonna have to do the old lever. There you go. Now look at this. I mean, you got a good, what, 3 or 4 inches right there. So then you grab the ramp. So you just untwist those 2 wing nuts there, and then it can slide apart. So you can expand it all the way out, and then you just tighten it back up. The cool thing about this ramp is that you can mount it on either side of the rack, front or rear positions. So you can see the little slot here, right there. And it's got one on all 4 corners. So you just stick it in the slot, and bam, there you go. There's your ramp. And then it has this system here. So I'll show it to you when we have the bikes loaded. But this will actually attach to the frame of the bike that's on the outside portion. And then this little one here will attach to the frame of the bike on the inside portion. And you think, if you look at this, you're like, there's no way our bikes are gonna fit that. But they do. And here's another cool thing about this. Let me show you this. And just a disclaimer real quick, we're not sponsored by Iron Deer at all. We purchased this with our own money on Amazon. I just want to show off things that make our life easier, and hopefully it'll make your life easier too. Okay, so when you're not using it, you just kind of move this stuff out of the way, fold it back up, and then what you can do is, I got it locked right now into the hitch. So once you remove it to the hitch portion actually folds up into here, and it nests right here. And then this has rollers on it, so you can roll it around like a suitcase. Now, most RV parks, there's a lot of gravel. But if you happen to be in an RV park that's got a lot of concrete or pavement, then this would be awesome. We'll use this for the next few months, and I'll give you a kind of a follow-up review on how we like it, and hopefully it will be much better for us. Is that your road coffee?
Yeah.
Is this your passenger princess coffee?
It is. With my free red Starbucks cup.
Yeah.
Because I ordered a holiday beverage a couple days ago and got a free cup.
Hey, guess what?
What?
We're going somewhere today that we have never been before.
Fine. Yeah.
When's the last time that we actually had a travel day to somewhere that we haven't never been? Well, it's been, I guess, Zion, maybe.
Yeah. And then we went
Durango. We've kind of been in that area, but not that specific spot where we were. This is a totally new area, Galveston, Texas. That's where we're heading, and we're meeting up with Clay and Maria. They're down there already. They're doing some work down there, and they left about a week ago or so. Yep. We're still here at Lake Conroe, but we're gonna leave a little bit early to head down because we want to get some beach time before the weather is getting ready to turn. It's like 80 and hot right now, and then next week it's supposed to be like in the high 60s and raining and just nasty. Yep. We'll see if we can get some beach time first.
Definitely.
So, we need to fire this bad boy up and see if our leveling jack problem is fixed.
Oh boy. Yay. It should be fixed.
I'm feeling confident about this.
I'm feeling confident in your abilities.
Okay.
We'll see. You know, speaking of passenger princess,
yeah,
somebody's already
look at this,
ready to be in her position.
Itty bitty. Oh, hey, another thing. Last week we were talking about, is the full-time RV life a good fit for military veterans, which we believe it is, but we also talked about some of the challenges of on the road of being a military veteran, and we are experiencing one of those challenges that we talked about last week, and that is getting our medication.
Yes.
So we've been sitting here waiting up until the last very possible minute to check out because Jen's got some meds that are supposed to be delivered, and they haven't been delivered yet.
So, of course, the VA sends their meds by United States Postal Service. Normally, if it's medication or priority mail, some Thousand Trails will take it. Well, this one won't take them.
USPS doesn't even deliver the Thousand Trails.
It doesn't even deliver here. So, one of them came yesterday. Well, was supposedly showed it was delivered, so I had to go to the post office and get it because their policy is they just send it back like the next day. Luckily, I caught it in time.
You got to be Johnny on the spot.
You got to be Johnny on the spot. So yesterday it was 10:37 when it said it went back to the post office. Well, it's 11 today.
Yeah.
And I tried to call the postmaster like they told me to, and
trying to call the post office is a freaking joke.
I mean, it's like calling any other government thing. Anyway, it was horrible. I can never get through, and
it's one giant circle jerk is what it is.
You got to call the 1-800 number. You got to put in that you want to talk to Willis, Texas. I can never get a person on the phone, no matter what I said. So, luckily, I had just seen my provider here in Houston. So these refills were for my old provider in Orlando. I was just trying to keep an extra on stock, so it's not a huge crisis.
So we're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I have plenty, but you know, just sometimes we're in places where we can't get any mail anywhere. So just want to be more prepared.
We talked about it last week, and here we are. See, we're not always full of shit. And so we have a theory about Thousand Trails and USPS. They claim that USPS won't deliver out here, but we call bullshit. We think because they can't charge $5 a package for USPS since it's a government-controlled agency, they're not allowed to charge. They won't allow them to deliver out here. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's just our theory. It's just
even,
weird.
Like the permanent residents that live here, they have to have a post office in town.
Yeah, so maybe there is something to that. I don't know why they wouldn't deliver out here. It's not like we're out in the middle of nowhere.
They can't charge. And because there's like 3 houses.
Right, but there's a difference between the USPS not delivering here and Thousand Trails not allowing them to deliver here because they can't charge.
I think it's the latter, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just remember, I got to take this little one to go pee before we
I always like to make sure we got everything off. We got the water pump on, we'll leave that. 1 amp, that's good. Make sure all these are down. So we're having a problem with our gray tank sensor too. As you can see, it's reading 67%, and it's been reading 67% for about 3 weeks now. Regardless if it's empty or full, it will go up to 100% if we do fill it, but it never drops below 67. So it's almost full right now, and I just put some unique tank cleaner in there. And since it's a travel day, we're going to keep it 3/4 full so it sloshes around, and hopefully it'll clean that sensor. And then when we get down to Galveston, it'll be reading correctly again.
I think, as much as we try not to let food get down the kitchen sink drain, sometimes it's inevitable, and I think there's... Yeah. That's what I think. There's some dry food or something on there that's just making that sensor say that it's at 67% when it's not.
Yep, we just need to get her cleaned up so we get an accurate reading. We'll let you know in about 4 hours. Let me show you guys this real quick too, because this is another thing we've experienced with this Fleetwood Discovery. We had a travel day one time where we could not get the bedroom slide to come in no matter what we did. It just wouldn't move. So there is a switch on this bed that activates to allow the slide to move in and out, because the front of the bed actually folds up to allow room for these two slides to come in. So sometimes we got to do a little nudgy here to activate that switch, and it's worked 100% of the time so far.
It has.
Yeah. So
you just jinxed us. You're like those sports commentators when they're like, he hasn't missed a field goal all season. They're going to win the game to go to the playoffs. And then
crap.
He misses.
Freaking rookie mistake.
Should know better.
Damn it!
You think she would stay there on travel day?
No, because he wouldn't be in your lap. We always use walkie-talkies. Every time.
Every single
Don't use cell phones. I mean, you can. If you have a cell signal, they're great, but a lot of times when we get to spots, there's no cell signal, so you can't communicate with each other. These are so much easier to communicate when you're parking the RV, when you're getting around corners, or what? What's up?
Like squirrel. I noticed that you already brought the toll thing in.
Yeah.
And I forgot. I didn't want us to forget.
We got the open roads toll. Right, yeah. And we had it in the Jeep when Jennifer went to go do her appointments and stuff. So
because there's a toll road that
in Houston
helps with because my appointments are like downtown Houston. Yay!
But we're gonna be in Galveston now, and it's actually on the south side of Houston. Should be a lot easier. She's got another appointment. What, Friday? Tomorrow should be easier because then she don't have to go all the way through Houston to get to her appointment.
Yep, 2 appointments tomorrow. One at 10:30 and one at 3:30. Fun day for Jennifer.
Have you guys been to the big VA center in Houston, Texas? If you have, let us know down in the comments. Let us know your experience because we're pretty new to it. Alright, so here's going to be the test. Turn power off. So now we're just on engine power only, and this was the problem we had last video. If you totally missed it, basically what happened is our jacks wouldn't go up or down. I found a 150 amp fuse that was blown, but when we got here to Lake Conroe, that's when we received the fuse because it was here waiting on us and by Amazon. So I replaced the fuse, and we still had to be plugged in, otherwise we kept getting a low voltage error for some reason. Even though the fuse was replaced, we had plenty of voltage going to the hydraulic pump for the jacks, but for some reason we had to be plugged in or we got that low voltage error. So I went to duplicate that and try to figure it out a couple days later, and the message never came back. So I don't know if the system needed a reset or what, but let's go check out the control panel and hopefully there are no error messages. All right, you want to do the honors?
Oh boy.
To see?
Yeah. Just adding something to the grocery list before I forgot.
Oh boy. All right. Let's hope for no error messages. Oh, so far so good. This is where we kept getting low voltage until we plugged in, even with the engine running, batteries charged, it would say low voltage until we plugged in. So I think we're good now. We'll keep an eye on it, but we're looking good. All right, so let's go through our routine. Comm check.
Loud and clear.
Roger that, you are loud and clear as well. Let's go ahead and bring in the rear bedroom slide. You're also cleared hot for the other driver's side slide whenever you get a chance.
Copy that.
I think I'm going to leave the cord plugged in, the breaker's off, but I'm going to leave it plugged in just in case we have problems with the jacks again when we go to do the jacks, which is going to be next. All right, everything looks good on the driver's side. Let me check out the passenger side and make sure you're clear. And you are cleared hot for the passenger side ginormous slide. So usually while Jen's doing that, I go and lock all these doors on this side now that the slides are in, and I have a much less chance of smacking my head on these damn slides. Another little trick we've learned over the years is we always want to check these more right slides to make sure they're actually locked in. If you don't keep these hinges lubed on here, sometimes they'll get gunked up and they will not lock, and then all of a sudden you take a corner and this tray will slide forward, and whether this door is locked or not, it'll pop that door open. Ask us how we know that. Another little trick, just full of little tricks today. We had to get a new key made for our doors for the RV because one of them broke. We had a spare, but I wanted an extra spare. Lowe's, Home Depot, those kind of places cannot make these keys for the Fleetwood Discovery, at least these little ones like this. I actually had to go to a locksmith to get it made, so just keep that in mind. Time to try those jacks. All right, babe, you ready to get jacks up?
Here we go.
May the odds be ever in our favor.
Alright, I'm gonna hit the return button.
Ooh, yeah. I usually like to stand way back here so I can get an eye on all 4 jacks from one location. Looks like the rear jacks are up, and it looks like the front jacks are going up. All is clear and good so far.
Holy smokes.
I know, right? Okay, whenever you get the message, you can shut them off and we'll just make sure they don't drop.
Well, I normally only get a message for when they're down. I don't think I get one for when they're up.
Yeah, it should say all jacks up.
The retract timeout message.
Oh, goody. All right, go ahead and clear the message and then hit auto retract again, or retract.
Pressing retract now.
Oh, that back one just dropped. The driver's side rear jack just dropped. Crying out loud. These damn jacks are gonna be the death of me. I even put some like fork cleaner stuff in there. You know, it's supposed to keep the jack from popping and stuff. Hoping that would help out, but these dang jacks have just been a pain in the butt. Alright, so and it dropped again.
Alright, I'm gonna press retract again.
Okay, so and it dropped again. This is the problem with these. This is how we blew the fuse in the first place. Because of this crap. So now we have to auto level again. Hopefully it will clear out the system. Every time we retract the jacks and then shut it off, this left rear one is now just dropping afterwards. And then hopefully we won't blow another dang fuse, but at least I got 5 extras in case it happens again. All right, all jacks are down, it looks like.
Just analyzing. All right, so success, so now I'm gonna auto retract.
Roger that. All right, all jacks are up. They stayed up. All right. We are good to go. Go ahead and hit the air switch. Now you guys see how we blew that fuse, because when that right front jack wouldn't drop earlier, we probably did that like 4 or 5 times trying to get the dang thing to drop. I think we just overheated that pump and ended up frying the fuse, but it looks like we're good now. But I don't know why this system is so finicky. It's such a pain in the butt. It's already been looked at by Fleetwood twice, so I don't know. May have to go back again. Another big difference between when we had the 5th wheel and the Class A is these bad boys. We had to get these special ones made for the Class A because the Class A's are so much heavier. If you try putting Lynx blocks under those, this thing will just break them and destroy them because it's so heavy. Ask us how we know that. And now for one of my favorite features on this RV. Besides this little guy, that's kind of cool. because I don't have to manhandle this big old 50 amp cable anymore. I just got to push a button. Now you do have to guide this cable a little bit, kind of manhandle it, otherwise it'll end up overheating the breaker for this thing. And it just did it just now. As a matter of fact, I just had to go in and reset it. It's on the control panel, the Firefly control panel, so it's super easy to reset, but yeah, you still gotta guide it, keep it from overheating. So I wanted to show you this real quick. We talked about this new bike rack earlier, and got it all loaded now, and this is what it looks like. But like I was showing you earlier, look at this. Now that the bikes are loaded, I'll show you how they'll stay so you can get to the tailgate. Look at that. I don't know how long you want to leave it like that, but at least enough time to where you can get the tailgate down. So we'll see how it does on its first travel day. One last thing we always do before we leave is I do a 360-degree walk around of the site and make sure we leave it better than we found it. All right, you ready for the checks?
Yep.
Left turn signal.
It works. It's working.
Hazards.
Yep.
Brake lights.
It all works.
All right, let's do a manual brake check.
All right, manual brake. Good to go.
All right, you ready for the tug test?
I'm ready. We're all good.
All pre-flight checks are complete. Please prepare the cabin for departure.